Have you ever wondered if a single climate event could change the course of human history? 4,200 years ago, something extraordinary happened. It wasn't a meteor strike or a supervolcano. It was a climate event so powerful it brought down empires. This is a story of the 4.2 kiloyear event, a mega drought that reshaped the ancient world. Let's travel back to 2200 BCE. In the heart of Mesopotamia, the Akkadian Empire considered the world's first empire. It was a marvel of its time. Great cities, advanced irrigation, a powerful army. They seemed invincible, but their strength was tied to the land, to the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Suddenly, the rain stopped, not just for a season, but for decades. The once mighty rivers dwindled. Fields that fed a civilization turned to dust. Archaeologist Dr. Harvey Weiss from Yale University has spent years excavating in this region. His team uncovered startling evidence. Ancient irrigation canals, once the lifeblood of Akkadian agriculture, were filled with wind-blown sand. Sediment layers in the soil tell a clear story. A dramatic shift from a moist environment to an arid one. The evidence was undeniable. A catastrophic, multi-century drought had struck Mesopotamia. The Akkadian Empire, unable to feed its people, began to crumble. Cities were abandoned. People migrated in desperate search of water and food. The world's first empire collapsed, not from invasion, but from climate change. But this wasn't just a local problem. Thousands of kilometers away, another great civilization was facing the same fate. The Indus Valley civilization, in what is now Pakistan and northwest India. This was a sophisticated society with well-planned cities like Harappa and Mohenjo. They thrived along the banks of the Ghaggar-Hakra river system, a river that some scholars identify with the mythical. Dr. Mike Petraglia, an expert on South Asian archaeology, has studied this region extensively. His research reveals a similar pattern. Evidence shows that the mighty Ghaggar-Hakra river began to dry up. Settlements along its banks, once bustling centers of trade and culture, where it is set. The people of the Indus Valley were masters of water management, but even their advanced systems couldn't cope with a drought of this magnitude. The prolonged lack of water led to agricultural failure and societal stress. Trade networks collapsed, and the great cities began their slow decline. Two of the most advanced civilizations on Earth, a world apart, were simultaneously brought to their knees. And the story doesn't end there. Let's turn our attention to another ancient superpower. Egypt, the land of the pharaohs. Egyptian civilization was famously called the gift of the Nile. Its entire existence depended on the annual flooding of the river. These floods deposited fertile silt, allowing for abundant harvests. But around 2200 BCE, the gift of the Nile faltered. The floods became weak and unreliable for years on end. Without the revitalizing floods, Egyptian agriculture was crippled. Famine swept across the land. Researchers like Dr. Fekri Hassan and Dr. Lawrence Steger have examined historical records and archaeological sites in Egypt. They found evidence of widespread agricultural collapse in Upper Egypt during this period. Tomb inscriptions from the time speak of hunger, social chaos, and desperation. The central authority of the pharaohs weakened. Egypt's old kingdom, the era of the great pyramid builders, disintegrated. It entered a period of instability and civil unrest, known as the First Intermediate Period. So we have three major civilizations: the Akkadians in Mesopotamia, the Indus Valley people, and the Egyptians along the Nile, all collapsing or in severe crisis at the exact same time. Coincidence? Modern science says no. Scientists needed to find a global cause for this widespread catastrophe. The answer lay hidden in some of the most remote places on Earth. Researchers like Dr. David Nash turned to climate archives. Ice cores drilled deep into the Greenland ice sheet provided a breakthrough. These cores are like time capsules, trapping ancient air and chemical signals layer by layer. Analysis of the ice from 4,200 years ago revealed a sudden, sharp drop in temperatures in the North Atlantic. This cooling disrupted global atmospheric patterns. It weakened the monsoon systems that brought rain to the Middle East and South Asia. But the evidence wasn't just in the ice. Scientists also studied stalagmites from caves in Oman. These cave formations grow as water drips from the ceiling. The chemical composition of their layers records changes in rainfall over millennia. Just like the ice cores, the stalagmites showed a clear signal. A severe, multi-decade drought beginning right around 2200 BCE. The pieces of the puzzle were coming together. From Greenland's ice to Oman's caves, the data pointed to a major global climate event, a perfect storm of climatic shifts that caused droughts across a vast belt of the planet. Modern scientists like Dr. Nick Marriner and Dr. Michael Staubusser have confirmed these findings. They used advanced techniques to analyze sediment cores from ancient lakes and seas. Their work reinforces the conclusion. The societal collapses in Mesopotamia, the Indus Valley, and Egypt were triggered by abrupt climate change. It wasn't just one drought. It was a long-term shift in the climate system. This event, now officially known as the 4.2 kiloyear event, represents one of the most significant climate-driven societal collapses in human history. The impact was profound. It forced massive human migrations as people abandoned their homes. It led to the deurbanization of vast regions, as cities could no longer be sustained. Complex trade networks that had connected these civilizations for centuries fell apart. The crisis put immense stress on these Bronze Age societies, leading to political breakdown and conflict. But the story of the 4.2 kiloyear event is not just one of collapse. It's also a story of human resilience and adaptation. In the aftermath, new, smaller, more localized societies emerged. People adapted to the new, drier conditions. They developed new agricultural strategies, focused on more drought-resistant crops. Pastoral nomadism became more widespread as a way of life suited to arid environments. New political structures formed, better adapted to a decentralized world. Humanity survived. We adapted. We rebuilt. The story of the 4.2 kiloyear event holds a powerful lesson for us today. It shows how vulnerable even the most advanced civilizations can be to climate change. It demonstrates that our societies are deeply intertwined with the natural world. And it reminds us that while collapse is possible, so is adaptation and renewal. The ruins of the Akkadian Empire and the abandoned cities of the Indus Valley are silent witnesses to this ancient climate catastrophe. They stand as a timeless warning, etched in stone and dust. A warning that the climate that nurtures us can also challenge us in ways we can barely imagine. By studying the past, we can better understand the challenges of the future. The 4.2 kiloyear event is not just history. It's a glimpse into the profound relationship between humanity and the planet we call home. Thank you for joining us on this journey back in time. If you found the story fascinating, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into our world's history and science. See you next time.